as much problems as we are. Without any further ado, I'd like to announce the president of Rochdale Village Board of Directors, Ms. Jean Hall.
I'm on.
And her camouflage.
I come to fight. And afternoon, Rochdale Village. How's everybody?
Good afternoon.
How's everybody doing? Good? Well, we have to do better because we need
You
a
can cut off. I'm
100
on.
times the
You wanna
number
hold
of people out here to show that we are serious about what we're saying. And so I will say this, Rochdale Village is an institution that Mayor Adams said he will not allow to fail. And as long as he's in that office, we're going to hold him to that. He also said that he was going to be having a task force to discuss the sustainability of Mitchell Lamas, both city and state. I sent an email and got a follow-up. Give them about another week or so, and those discussions will begin. It is important, as people talk about affordable housing, that we remember this is supposed to be affordable housing. And so you cannot leave us in the lurch and then talk about affordable housing in the same breath. You have to talk about sustainability of affordable housing. And so I also want to say, we are not the enemy on the board. There are those board members that stand with you, and I am one of them.
You gotta talk louder.
So I am not here to say and stop any shareholder participation. I stand with the shareholders and I stand for the shareholders, and that is what I have done whether I was in the majority or not. So know that I will always be fighting behind the scenes. One of the things was mentioned was the $195 million loan, and part of the problem with that loan is not only is it a first year, a 10-year interest only loan, it is a loan that did not account for the facade work, hence the $30 million and the $25 million that they want to attribute to the facade work, because that was not included. There was $31 million set aside for the convectors, and in a recent discussion with management, they indicated if they do not have or cannot pull in the bonds, two separate bonds, they would not have sufficient money to finish that project. To which I asked for, due tomorrow, an accounting of what happened with that $31 million.
Yeah, where's the money?
Yeah.
And that's the kind of thing that goes on behind the scenes that we are working for. We also know our rent conference is coming up on September 18th. And we asked for HCR to be in person. They wrote back to us and told us that they would not be in person.
Wow.
However, we will be setting up the auditorium for people to attend that WebEx conference, and they said they would send a representative to us to be here. So we are, while we're not happy, we're going to work with what we have, and we're going to come out and we're going to ask them questions about what is going on and why we cannot have the type of support, the infusion of capital that is desperately needed for us to maintain our affordability. So I don't want to continue to talk because I want people to hear from your personal experiences how this is going to impact you personally. This 31.2% increase, of which 4% comes from management's decision not to pay a water bill. So know that I stand with you day in and day out, and I will continue to do so. And I appreciate every household that's represented here. Thank you, and we got work to do.
Thanks, Jean. Sheila. You pass, huh?
I'm just coming here to support.
Okay, and we appreciate that. It is difficult to come up to a mic and actually discuss the impact that it may have, whether negatively or neutral, to people, to strangers. And I get it. So I'm going to close with this. She mentioned that HCR does not respect us enough to know to even come and hold a public hearing as prescribed by law when they do a rent increase. So we need to fill up that auditorium. The problem is we can't fill up this basketball court. Each one has to reach one and get them out there so that they get a visual of us being upset about this and understand we're not going down without fighting. I'll go a step further. And after this turnout, I'm really disappointed. I really appreciate you guys, but you only reflect maybe 0.5% of Rochdale Village, and that's disappointing. However, I'm not going to be deterred. I'm going to reach out to David Garrido of DC 37 because a lot of his members live here. I'm going to reach out to Local 100 and PWU, and we may try to formulate another rally on the 18th before we march in there and maybe get some of his members and get some of their union money, and you guys pay union dues to DC 37, to 32 BJ. We've been supporting their maintenance men forever. We didn't let go of their men through attrition. They're still eating. They need to be out here too, not while they're working, but in support, because many of them live here. Many of them live in affordable housing. So this is where we're at. We may try to get another press conference, because I refuse, and one man is not an island. Once again, I thank those persons that supported and helped me, but it's not about Rodney Reed. It's about Rochdale Village. And as much as they would like for us to be divided, we've got to get together on this one issue. Senator Sanders, absent. Vivian Cook, been absent for several years. Democratic candidate Ty Hankerson was supposed to make it. He confirmed. Unfortunately, he texted me, and I'm assuming that the powers that be amongst that little clique said, nah, don't go out there. But they will be over there later on. When we leave, they're going to be over there shaking hands, and I'm going to remind you, keying with you, to take a little photo out. Tell them, where were you? Where were you when we wanted to hear from you? Tell them 30% hike equals lack of oversight. If they ask you, well, what about the management company? Tell them the math ain't mathing, send Summit packing. The math is not mathing, send Summit packing. No disrespect to y'all, because I'm a little broken too. I'm just a little broken, and it's emblematic of what we're feeling right now. But don't be discouraged. My pastor just said, and with God, I'm gonna make it. I hope you do too. With that, if there is nobody else that would like to share, come please, Toy.
Hi, my fellow neighbors and residents of Queens. I moved to Rochdale in 2013. Well, my name is Celeste Reed, also known as Toy Reed on all social media platforms. I moved here in 2013. And when I first got here, my rent, carrying charge, whatever you want to call it, was $900 and something. Now it's $1,174. I don't have a problem with that. But what I have a problem with is I just lost my job. I was laid off after 30 years. So I'm trying to figure it out. And then in January, I'm like, wait, hold on a second. They talking about an increase, 31%. Wait a minute, let me do this math real quick. That was $378. That's $400 to me. Thank God I'm not that type of person to get the hair done, nails done, everything on a regular. That's part of my budget. So I don't have to look at it as fear as that. However, with me looking for a job, people is ageism out here. So I may have to find a job that pay $25 an hour. That is just enough for me to pay my rent. When I had, I just recently got off of unemployment, and I applied for food stamps after working for 30 years. I said, I'm getting me something. They told me I made too much on unemployment. Unemployment is $504 a week if you don't get the taxes taken out. I don't care if you make $200,000, it's $504. Okay? So, I don't know politically, like you said about all of these senators. I just became community inclined in the past 2.5, 3 years. It's going down in Southeast Queens. It's bigger than Rochdale. Okay? But Rochdale have enough voices and people to say, nah, you can't do that here. Not here. If you want to do it in St. Albans, Laurelton, or whatever, they just passed this law, the city of yes, they upzone it. You're going to see places for people. I was born and raised in Queens. So you'll start, I know some of y'all have seen it, but my friend that's here from out of town, she came and she's seeing buildings like, what? They build in here, they come in here, and we should not let them take this place. And we don't have no other place. We can be the, what was the thing in Texas? I'm so sorry, I don't know their, you know, that they have their own village, you circulate your own, they burnt it down. I'm just saying we could be that own village. We don't need them. All we need is each other. But I'm just saying for me, outside of that, I would be priced out of this place. And where am I going? Where am I going? A damn room is like $2,000. I mean, not that I'm going to move in a room, but there's some people, I know somebody that lives in a storage room. And that's actual fact, because he can't afford and has a job. So this is how serious it is. Knock on your neighbor's doors. I don't know what's up with our people. Well, we got to do better than this. 30%? When they first started talking 57%, I said, well, shit, what the hell is that? I couldn't even do the math off the time. Get the calculator. I started getting nervous. No, I'm serious. This is terrible. I came out here and I expected to see a lot more of us.
When I moved in Rochdale, I paid $130.
Us. All right, so
Now we're over 1,000.
oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you still want to hear me? No, but really, it's serious. It's bigger than just this. Yes, and we have to come together. I'm not that I just recently, but looking at just 60 years ago, 62 years ago, whatever, in the 60s when Martin shut down the, I ain't 60. Okay, but even with that, with Martin Luther King, they shut that bus system down and they felt it. And that's why they came to grips and said, wait a minute, we got to do something because we ain't making no money. We can be the same way. I haven't shopped, I ain't gonna shop. I got so much stuff in there. I said, I'm not buying a thing. Freak these people. We can do it. We are the creators. Target, when they started this boycott, Target fell 2.8% just by us not showing up. So if that is not impactful, then we lost as a people. We got to get it together. Thank y'all. All right.
Thank you, Joy. I want to mention one other thing real quick. Not only are we talking about a 30% increase, 31.5% increase, but they had the gall to want to make us pay a $9.50 per room surcharge to pay the water bill.
6% surcharge that we're being charged.
That's crazy. We have to come out. We're going to let one more person speak, and then we're going to close out. I want to again thank you again. Miss Cynthia Horner is a resident here in Rochdale.
Good afternoon. Can you all hear me? What I would like to say is I'm somebody... Hello? Okay. I'm someone who follows social media a lot. So therefore, I'm very aware of the different comments that different people who live in our development. Okay, now can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm someone who follows social media.
So therefore, I am very aware of the different comments that everyone has been making in reference to the proposed 30% hike. Now, what some people don't realize about Rochdale Village is it looks very beautiful on the outside. Don't we all agree that the grounds look perfect? Okay, that looks perfect, but the interior does not necessarily look perfect at all. A lot of people have had different challenges. These people who have had challenges mention it on Facebook or among their friends, but they are not here where we need them to be. Now, I'm somebody who has followed the careers and the steps that people such as Martin Luther King, Jesse Jackson, and Malcolm X, some of these people have actually died for us. If we can't stand together on this one issue, then we are really lost as a people. Rochdale Village is a community that consists of many different types of people. We've got little children, we've got senior citizens that are almost in their twilight years, and then we have the working class. All of these people are going to be impacted. First of all, many people who moved to Rochdale were under the impression that at some point they would be able to leave their apartment to their loved ones, to their children. They're not going to be able to do that. And in some cases, that is the only property that some of these people have. They don't necessarily have a house, but they do have an apartment that they thought they might be able to leave to a daughter or a son or grandchildren. That was their definition of generational wealth. They're not going to have that because, first of all, many of these people are going to have to move. There is absolutely no way that some of these people are going to be able to pay $400 more a month on a fixed income. So that means that they will not be able to keep that apartment, which means that even though their intention would have been that they would leave this dwelling to a relative, they will not be able to do it. Secondly, we have a lot of stores in this community. I've seen people in the grocery stores putting food in their baskets and then removing the food out of their baskets because they were up at the checkout counter and they realized that they did not have enough money to pay for all the items that they were attempting to buy. I've also seen people going to the senior citizen center where they have meals for $2 a day, and people are trying to take food home, not even eat it all there. They've been bringing these takeaway plastic containers so that they can take some of that food that they purchased for their senior lunch home for their dinner. Now, this is unacceptable, but people realize that they have to tighten the belt, and these are ways that they are trying to do it. Now, I charge all of you to talk to people that are in your buildings, because when I was on the elevator on the way over here, I saw people on my elevator, and I told them I was going to a press conference for the carrying charge increase. They said they didn't know anything about a carrying charge increase. So that shows that we are not reaching all of the people here. We obviously have a lot of people in this community that just go to work, come home, and they're not aware of what's going on. So that means that we have to make them aware. We have to go door to door. We're going to have to go hand to hand. There is no other way that we will be able to fight. And as far as our elected officials are concerned, they will definitely be stopping by because there's an election in November, right? There's an election on November 4th. Even if they're not running, they have colleagues that are running, and they're going to come to us because this development turns out in large numbers to vote for all kinds of candidates. These people do not necessarily deserve our vote at this point because their hands are somewhat tied. They're saying they can't help us. Everybody's shuffling us to somebody else. I've been sending emails. People are saying, oh, send that email to somebody else. Well, somebody has to be accountable, and we're going to have to make them accountable. We have a lot of very, very intelligent people here, and we have to get together and do something about it. We cannot let this community fall by the wayside because people are waiting for it. I've been hearing since 2017 that they were going to go after Rochdale. I wasn't even living here at that time, but I was hearing about it from contractors and people that are in development. Now here we are, 2025, and this is where we are. So, are all of us going to do something to help? Yes. Gotta say yes. Even if you just reach a couple of people, do something. Like Michelle Obama said when we were having our last election, do something. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Horner. And just so you know, Cynthia Horner, if you don't know, we know. And thank you for everything you've done. But you got to know. Do your research. Folks, I did say one more, that she was going to be our last, but I'd be remiss. Nunu Evans, generational legacy, yeah. Been in the village for a long time, running for election on the board. We'd like to talk about how this will impact his family, him and his family. Nunu Evans. Oh, and by the way, he put those flyers up in each of those buildings because my niece couldn't do it, and that he was part of that team.
Hello, everyone. How are you? My name is Eugene Evans. I've been in Rochdale since 1969. I was raised here in this community, a beautiful community. I went off to school, to give you a little background. I went off and did my thing as a young adult. Came back, got my own family, came back here with my family and raised all my children here. All my children are now all adults. So it's been a generational here with me and my family, and this is a testament to my community. I was successful to bring my children up here. They're all professional adults now. Now I always want to say one thing. I've seen Rochdale at its highest, and I see where we are now. All I can say is this, is that we have to hold ourselves accountable too for what happens. We have to hold ourselves accountable. That means we got to make the right choices when we vote. We have to do our due diligence and just find out who these people you're voting for, what are they doing, and always remember one thing. When they have an agenda and they say they're going to do something, and they don't do it, it's time to go. You got to hold them accountable to that. So when there's an agenda involved, you got to hold them to that agenda. But I'm going to be short because I know a lot of people have spoken already, and I believe in Rochdale. I believe in my people here in Rochdale. I'm behind you 100%. Whatever we got to do to be successful, I'm behind it. Reed has been around here. I've known him since we've been young adults and teenagers. Yeah, exactly. So I know what his family's here for, and my family's here. My father is a senior now. He's 90 years old, and I'm trying to think how he gonna keep his apartment with my money and my brother. So he has support from us, so he'd be able to do that. But if he didn't have that support, what would happen to my father then? I'd probably have to come get him and come live with me. That's what I would have to do. But again, I thank everyone for coming out today. You're doing what you need to do, but remember, we have a vote coming up. This next election with this board is going to be important. Whatever happens in the next couple of years is going to be very important to our sustainability here in Rochdale Village. I love you guys, and thank you very much.
All right, thank you guys. Listen, a reminder, the board elections are coming up. Let's not go backwards. We don't need to rinse and repeat. Let's look for new, stronger, vigorous people dependent on educating themselves. No one moves to Rochdale with the intent of governing the corporation. No one does. You come to move, you live, but then there are those that come, get on the board, and get sucked into a particular genre of entitlement and lose focus to the point where they allow what has happened to has happened. And I'm not speaking about the new majority board. just so we know. But there are candidates that are being endorsed by the new majority board, and we need to look at those people. They're not here today, they're over there campaigning. Nunu is one of the independent candidates, but we need to examine, this is not about it's not about favoritism. Oh, they popular, forget that. No more are they popular, or they collard greens is good, or they make a mean pork chop. That's done. And then we have to step up into our local elections. Who's been here for us? Who's here right now today for us? Yes. Not Vivian Cook. Senator Sanders has done some effort in negotiating for that money. Not enough. He should have been here. All right? The mayor is not. He came at 10 o'clock in the morning when most of us was at work, so he could talk to a different type of population that wouldn't challenge him. But he did talk about sustainability, and he's going to do a study. The study should have been done years ago. All right.
What are you studying?
Vote your conscience. Vote correct. Know that everybody does not have your best interests at heart. I am also very, 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 very disappointed in someone I kind of was getting ready to support. The Mr. Affordability guy, Zoran Mandani. He was over at Mount Pasagan 4 times. He's been to the churches. He's not here. He got invited several times. He's not here. We need to know. Cuomo, I don't want to get it. Vote your conscience. Vote your conscience. Vote your conscience. With that, I want to thank you for coming out. Look out for more information about what we do next, because it can't stop here. We have to the 18th. Gene Hall mentioned the auditorium is going to be open. It's ludicrous that HCR feels that they don't have to come out and address the public about a 30% increase. Email your testimony. I wrote 8 pages of testimony. I don't know. Email your testimony. Not only to the representative, but to the commissioner and to the governor. Flood their telephone lines. Tell your neighbors we need to be phone banking. Just like when they go out to get elected, we need to be flooding their phones. Like, y'all crazy? We can't afford 30%. I'm not the one that goes into the chants like most rallies. I just come out, put out a message. I thank you out for coming out. I did my part. I'm trying. I hope that we together can do our part and come out and grab each one, reach one, and come out and fight against this 30% increase. Fight to get Summit management removed.
Yes.
Gotta go.
Gotta go.
The math ain't mathin'. Send Summit packing. All right? So, with that, we need that $30 million to be released immediately. We can't wait till 2026. That's ridiculous. All right? And we need a forensic audit.
Yes.
We need a forensic audit. Put it in your email. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you again. Enjoy the rest of the day. And you remember, we're gonna get through this. All right? So enjoy the rest of the day. It didn't rain on us. All right? Hey. Enjoy the vendors. God bless you all. Thank you for coming out. And let's fight. Thank you again.